Hello, everybody. Special greetings to Anna and Jennifer Duck and Film Chica. What's everybody doing? Thank you for tuning in once again to my channel. What did Kathy watch? It's Wednesday, and in my part of the world, it's been a wild, windy, and wet Wednesday. I've had to go out twice because it's garbage day, so that means I had to take the bins out and then bring them back in. And I ran out of my favorite drink, so I popped back out to get some of that. And I've spent most of the morning, looking out the window. I have big bay windows in my living room, and I absolutely love them. It's great for writing poetry. I just sit there, put some music on in the background, look out the window, and wait for inspiration to strike. So today I was looking out the window. Inspiration did strike, but I'm not ready to share the poem with you yet. But mostly I was just looking out the window, watching the sky do different things, mostly change colors. When I woke up, it was blue, a nice color blue. And then it darkened and the rain chucked down, and then it became a light blue gray. And at one point it became this really weird yellowish gray, and that's when the wind kicked up and the rain just began battering the windows and stuff. And at the moment, it's just gray, and the rain is gone off and the wind is quiet. So apart from those few times when I had to pop out, since it's wet and windy, I tend not to go out. I try to avoid leaving the house on the days when the weather is bad. So I sat here and I'm like, right, what do we want to watch? So one of my subscribers did a review of, not actually a review, they were just talking about things they had watched on, the various streaming platforms lately, and they were talking about something called A Perfect Neighbor on Netflix, which it actually did pop up in my recommended viewing thing. You guys know I like my documentaries, and I had read the synopsis when it popped up, and I'm like, do I want to watch this? Because it's one of those true documentaries, and a lot of the true documentaries, particularly the crime ones, they sometimes get to me. And it is the Christmas season, but seeing as how one of my subscribers recommended it, I thought, right, I'm going to watch it. So I watched it. And I'll try and keep it really brief. It's it covered a case in Marion County, Florida, dealing with the Stand Your Ground law, which 31 states in America currently have. An older white woman shoots a black mother through the door. The door has no peephole. She's had problems for a year with this woman's kids. Not just this woman's kids, but everybody in the neighborhood had called the police on this woman because She didn't like kids playing near her house. She didn't like the noise they made. And unfortunately, things escalated, and she ends up shooting this woman through a locked, bolted metal door and killing her. It's a horrendous story in the sense that, it's just a horrendous story. But in terms of, the technical side of things and how the story is told and presented, it's all police footage and stuff. They did a good job. Most of the Netflix documentaries I watch are really good. But it did. It upset me. Justice was served in the end. The jury, they found her guilty, and she's doing 25 years. Needless to say, after that, it left me disturbed. And people who watch me on this channel, most recently, Fin Chica pointed out that my caring and empathy and stuff, it comes through. And that's why it bothered me, I can understand standing your ground, but if she's behind a locked, bolted metal door, then she was safe. There was no way the woman was going to get in. Anyway, after that, I needed to watch something, Christmassy, something to lift my spirits back up. So I watched 2 back-to-back Scrooge movies. I've always wondered, because as an English major, in the beginning, in my freshman year, I had to read some Dickens. I've often wondered if Charles Dickens knew when he wrote A Christmas Carol that it would live on forever and forever. And there are too many versions of this out there for me to count. I'm pretty sure I've seen all of them, but I do have my favorites. The first one being, and I watched that last week, the animated version, Mr. Magoo's Christmas Carol. The second one being Scrooge's A Christmas Carol. I forget the year, but it's the one with Alistair Sim. I love Alistair Sim. It's brilliant. And my third favorite, I'm just going to narrow it down to the top 3, is the musical version of Scrooge with Albert Finney. I've been in love with Albert Finney since he was, a buff, well-fit young man when he did his, I think it was his debut film called Saturday Night and Sunday Morning. But that's what I did afterwards. The thing I like about the Albert Finney version is that it's a musical. The songs are like brilliant, I can't help it. I always end up sitting here bouncing to them. So that's what I ended up doing, and it worked. I'm looking forward to Christmas, even though I'll wake up on Christmas morning by myself, but I thought about it, and even when I lived in the States and my family was like right there, I've lived alone for so many years, I don't even remember how long it's been, but I've always awakened Christmas morning alone, and it's never been, something that bothers me. What bothers me are the adverts that I see in the run-up to Christmas about people who spend it alone. That bothers me because I like being alone. 9 times out of 10, I prefer being alone, but not everybody is comfortable in their own presence. And for some people, loneliness is a daily, heartbreaking reality. And I wish there was something I could do to ameliorate that, but I can't. All I can do is thank God that I learned a long time ago how to live with myself, by myself, and be comfortable in my own skin. My mom used to tease me about being a loner, and I don't know where I get that propensity for preferring to be alone from, but it's cool. I'm good with it. And I still love Christmas. And the older I get, the more I love it because it brings up such good memories. Like, I remember putting up the tree, helping my mom put up the tree with my siblings. I remember the first time my mother popped popcorn. She used to sew, my mom did, and I remember the year we got her a lovely little sewing box for Christmas. I remember the year she popped the popcorn and then made the popcorn strings and we put them on the tree. I remember the year I got my first Barbie doll, and that was a big deal because my father was like, can't we get her a black doll? But there weren't a lot of black dolls at that time. So I ended up getting the Barbie, and that meant a lot. I remember the year I discovered, and it remains a good memory, it didn't really bother me, and I think I kind of always suspected. I remember the year I found out definitely that there was no Santa Claus. I was 8 and I got up to go pee. And as I came downstairs, I saw my father sitting on the sofa and he was putting together my Easy Bake Oven. Remember Easy Bake Ovens, guys? Yep. And that was when I knew. And the kids at school have been saying there is no Santa, it's your parents who buy the gifts. But seeing that, I knew. So a couple of days later, I told my younger cousin, Donetta, that Santa Claus did not exist. And boy, did I get in trouble for that. You think that might be kind of like a bad memory, but it's not. It's funny to me. I have a lot of good memories of Christmas, childhood Christmases, especially the smells. That's why I like cooking Christmas dinner. I still haven't gotten as good as my mom as making greens, but they're definitely palatable. You can eat them. I can eat them. And my friends who eat them, they're like, wow, that's amazing. So, that's it for your girl. For midweek, we are coming up on Christmas, which is next week. I have something really pleasant to look forward to this Saturday, my annual dinner with my Scottish girls. And that's going to be fun. So until my next video, thank you as always for taking the time to visit me in my humble abode, making some time out of your busy day to see what I'm blethering on about. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. if something really good has happened, like you've hit the national lottery or something, then you definitely need to party for it. If you're grieving the loss of someone as the holidays approach, grief is funny, you know. It comes and goes in waves, and it's okay. You can grieve for a lifetime. Just be sure, to make space for other things too. And until then, please, as always, stay safe and live well. Thanks for watching this to the end.